Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh. Good morning for some, good evening for most, and good afternoon wherever you're at in the world. OMG, we are here for the 9th annual Celebrating You Women's Conference. Today is the kickoff. This is the setup. Man, but before I even get into all this, I just want to bring on my co-host that was going to be joining us for this 2-day journey. Come on, Doc Ock. I call her Doc Ock, but she's Octavia Jones. Come on in the room.
It's been a time.
Right?
It's been a long. It feels longer than it really has been, but it's been a long enough time.
I
It's been a
know.
little bit.
It's been a little bit. Just like you say, Paquito. That's all you're gonna get out of me, a little Paquito.
Yeah, I was able to change my hair. I didn't grew locks and everything. I was
I
bald the last time I was
know.
on here. Yeah.
Oh my God. Man, rock true for nothing at all. Bam. Man, the rock truth queens. Hold up. I don't have that one, but I have this one. Look at this. Remember?
Oh yeah, I still got my crown too. Yep,
Crowns,
it's sitting on my lamp in my room.
Speaking of which, I actually did earn a crown. We're gonna talk about that a little later. Yes, I did earn a crown. So yes, I did. So so listen. We are here. I mean, can you believe this? Do you remember you were one of the speakers for one of, I think, what?
Yeah.
2000, was it 2000 or 2001? Which year was it?
21.
What was the theme that year?
I think
Was
it was
that
just magnify your essence.
No, it's always magnify your essence, but
Right, but I mean, it was
year
like a kind of like a reiteration of
I
it.
think it
Was
was.
it?
So we did virtually you weren't. Then we had the assignment. I think you were part of the assignment. Yes,
That's the
because
one. Yep.
everything we do
Yeah.
is part of this great grand assignment. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Listen. This assignment just keeps going and going, and as you know, Selena K would say, growing. Right?
Yes.
It just keeps growing and growing and going and going. And I'm like, before, behind stage, I was just going like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. This is happening. It's right now. It's like, no more getting ready for it. It's here. Like, we are kicking off the second day for the first of 2 days, to just rock this thing out. We have some amazing dynamic speakers from all over the world that will be joining us over these next 2 days.
Internationally known.
International. That part. Man, listen. I don't know. Listen, anyone out there, send a shout out so we can give you a shout out while we're here. We are just so excited to have this just monumental moment here. See, but we talked about themes. Do you know what the theme is? Let's talk about the theme for this year.
It is the setup. The setup. And it's like when you think everything is just set to take you down, and then you get to the other side and you realize, like, oh, this is the setup for something better. Whole time. I thought the rug was getting snatched out from under me. The wool was being pulled over my eyes and got knocked over the head with a candlestick. I don't know. We just been getting pulled through it, and then you get there and it's like, oh, it was a setup. Oh, the whole time. And you look in, like, oh, I got my tool bag now full of all my tools. I done got my muscles right. I've been heavy lifting. Oh, this is light work.
Just some minor leg work, easy peasy breezy, right? That part. So listen, we have some phenomenal speakers, but I just want to kind of talk about this next speaker that we're going to see. And I love this space of how we're virtual today, right? Today we're virtual. Tomorrow we'll come back and talk about tomorrow in a little while, but right now we're here. So I just love technology. So we have this next speaker that we are going to hear from. She comes all the way from the amazing, wonderful state of North Carolina. She's down in Raleigh, North Carolina, but she speaks And she speaks. When she speaks, Savannah Moore speaks. When she speaks, I'm going to tell you, people listen. So I just want, this is one of my cohorts that I've met with my journey with Dr. Oz. So we are in for a treat. We are in for a treat because her life is limitless, and we can't wait to hear what she has to say to us on this day. So, ready whenever you are. Let's hear from Savannah Moore Speaks.
Hello, 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 world. Welcome to the ninth annual Celebrating You Women's Conference and Expo. I am Shavannah Speaks More. I am an actress, life coach, storytelling strategist, and I am so elated to be here with you all on this amazing Friday. Listen, you all are in for a treat on today. Actually, over the course of the next few days. I am so excited about all of the things that you all are going to learn, the powerhouses that are going to be pouring into you. And I just want to say, buckle up, Buttercup, because it is time for you to take a journey, to take a ride with us, and just really explore this next level of what it feels like to elevate and really celebrate you. Okay. So I just want to leave a word with you all on today to just learn how to trust yourself when it comes to life, when it comes to this journey of being an entrepreneur, being a woman, being a mother, being a spouse, right? We have so many hats that we wear. By nature, we are nurturers. We are born nurturers. So we're always putting everyone else first and putting ourselves last. So this weekend, I want you to make sure that you put yourself first, because when you are okay, everything else is okay. So, my word for you on today is going to be to trust yourself. This is an analogy that I typically use to let you know or show you how you can begin to trust yourself, because a lot of the times on this journey, we tend to lose ourselves, right? I don't know about you, but I've experienced a turmoil of challenges and obstacles and limiting beliefs and things that have hindered me, or what I thought had hindered me from propelling to the next level, from moving forward, from truly evolving in this human experience. And one of the things that I had to do on my journey was just really learn how to trust myself first. So I want to break this down for you. So make sure you grab your handy dandy notebook, because I'm about to drop some nuggets for you really, really quick. Just something to carry you throughout the duration of this weekend, in hopes that you find it within yourself to really lean into who your soul came here to be and learn how to trust yourself more. In this season, if you don't do anything else, learn how to trust you first, okay? So I want you to break down the word trust, TRUST. And we're going to break down what that looks like, right? Number one, trust. The T is take the first step. Take the first step. How many times on this journey have you made a vision board, set a goal, you set the intention to do something, but yet you allow yourself to hold yourself back, right? Because the truth of the matter is, there's nothing out there that can hold you back. There's no one out there that can hold you back. So I want to encourage you, take that first step, write that book, start that business, create that foundation. Like whatever it is that you desire to do, take that first step. Every single day, take a step further than you were yesterday. And that will get you ahead of the curve, ahead of the game, more than you were the day before. Take that first step. That's the T. The R is take responsibility. This is a challenging one for a lot of people, because a lot of the times on our journeys, we tend to blame other people for where we are in life. We tend to blame what happened to us as a child. We tend to blame the fact that we went through a foreclosure, we went through a divorce, we went through, this traumatic experience growing up, right? But the truth of the matter is, where we are on this journey is our responsibility. We can't blame anybody for where we are today. So take responsibility for where you are and how you respond to the things that happen around you, because you have a choice. In every moment of the day, you always have a choice. You can either react to what's happening or what you think is happening, or you can respond as that elevated version of yourself by simply taking responsibility and understanding, you know what, where I am, I take responsibility for it. No, I may not like it. No, it may not feel good, but I take responsibility for where I am so that I can move on to who I'm called to be. Because again, it's nothing out there. It's no one out there that contributes to where you are, or that you can blame for where you are, rather, in your life today. The you is understand you. So many times on this journey, we are wearing so many different hats. We are different people in different environments. But the truth of the matter is, your soul came here to be expressed in many, many different ways. And I want you to lean into her today. I want you to really understand you. No, you don't have to always be politically correct. No, you don't have to always be professional. No, you don't have to always, if you want to sing, jump, and dance, then you sing, jump, and dance. If you love to cook, if you love to play, allow that expression to come forward in your career, in your businesses, in your everyday life. Because I'm going to tell you something. The more you allow yourself to express who your soul came here to truly be on this journey, the more you will manifest your next level. Too often we try to put ourselves in a box, and we have to be so politically correct all of the time. We have to be so professional all of the time. We have to be this person. We have to be one way in corporate and then another way with our friends and one way over here. No, you are who you are. And the more you can understand you and show up unapologetically as you, the quicker and the easier it will be for you to manifest that next level. The S is to surrender. Just be present, be purpose. I don't believe that we're on a journey of finding our purpose in life. You are purpose. Always remember that. Every step that you take on this journey is leading you to you. Is leading you more to who you are actually here to be. Every step, your calling did not come with a blueprint, okay? Therefore, there's no magical thing out there that's going to say, hey, follow XYZ and you're going to uncover your purpose. No, that's not how it works. But again, the more you allow the expression of who your soul came here to be, the more you lean into that, the more you understand you, the more you show up unapologetically, the easier it will be for your soul to guide you in what your purpose is in this experience, in this human experience. So just surrender to that. Oftentimes we ask for things, we set these big goals, and then we get the nudge, we get the download to move in one direction, and we talk ourselves right out of it, right? How many of you have ever been there? You have a big goal and you might get a download to say, oh, well, call this person, or go online and reach out to this person, or do this. And you're like, well, no, I'm not going to just call this person. I'm not going to do this. And we talk ourselves right out of it. Sometimes, as a matter of fact, today, I want you to make a decision to surrender to who you thought you were here to be, and be bold enough to be open enough to receive the downloads and the direction where your source is guiding you, where God is guiding you, where your inner being is guiding you, and surrender to that. Because every step that you take is leading you to you, right? Because you have to trust your way back to you. We are here to celebrate you. So surrender to that and show up as her. The last one, take stock and integrate. So we got trust. T is for take the first step. R is for responsibility. U is for understanding you. S is for surrender. Just be present, just be purpose, right? The T is to take stock and integrate. What does that mean? That means take stock of every level of your life that you are currently on, anything that you're experiencing, finances, family, career, business. Look at every area of your life and really take stock with where you are. And if there's some things in there that you don't like, that you desire to change, guess who has the power to do that? You. Because we are here to celebrate you. In order to do that, you have to find your way back to you. You have to integrate the things that you're learning. Many of you have notebooks full of information that you've collected over the years. You got $1 million ideas in these notebooks, but you don't trust yourself enough to move forward. Let today be the day that you trust your way back to you, that you show up unapologetically, that you do what you are called to do so that you can be who it is that you desire to be in this human experience. Trust your way back to you. I hope that you all enjoy the rest of this conference because it is going to be bananas. I already know the powerhouses that are coming forward are going to pour into you. And I want you to understand, regardless of what you learn today, always trust yourself to make it happen. Trust you if you can't trust anything else. If you don't get anything else over the weekend, remember to trust you because that's what's going to guide you and lead you to the magical things that you are called to do in this human experience. I am Shavannah Speaks More. Again, thank you all so much for attending the 9th annual Celebrating You Women's Conference and Expo. Until next time, smoochie.
Somebody. Love that message. Come through. Cause when you get the setup, you gotta trust that it's for your greatest good. You gotta trust it. You gotta trust the process. You gotta trust that all that you've been through is preparing you to receive and take advantage of all the opportunities that come with the setup. Cause it's a casket when they say it's all downhill from there. Downhill, that's not slow motion. That's not no slow motion. So grab onto the toboggan and ride. Oh yeah, and it's snow. I don't know if it's snowing where y'all are. We had some nice weather though, so it's not no snow here, but it's coming.
Look, don't talk that up. Keep that over there with you.
We got
Listen.
50-degree weather right now, and there's some more coming all next week.
We
So
just talked
I'm
about some snow. Don't those are some bad words there. Listen, we just talked about we gotta trust, right? We gotta and we celebrate. But man, let me tell you, did she not drop some nuggets? Did she not drop some
and she
truth?
got the whole package too, the wrap up, the recap. I'm like, come through, sis. Okay.
All of those things like power. I told you guys. I said we was in for a treat. I was like, let's get it in, let's get it in. And I love the fact that we like she was ready to come and give it to us live, right? But life happens, right? Here's the setup. Here's the setup, right? Life happens. She was like, listen, how else can we do this? Can I come early? I said, we don't start early. I said, hey, you want to leave a message? She's like, gotcha. Bam. And that's what she did.
That's why you
I
gotta
mean,
have the
listen.
plan A through Z ready.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? A through Z. Because B, sometimes G and F get moved up to A, and then sometimes Z come through and pad it out a little bit more. So you gotta have the A through Z ready.
A through Z, all of that stuff. All you like, I'm seeing all these comments in here. Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, everybody from around the world? See, I am our brother's keeper. That is Monique. We're gonna hear from her tomorrow, live here in Philly. I see Maria. I see you all the way from whoa, St. Martin. Yes, okay. We got an international crew coming on here. Let's see. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I told you guys. Listen, listen, listen. I still wanted to be it's happening, right? That was last year's theme, but it
I know.
continues. It still
Right.
continues. It
It
still
continues.
continues. I keep going,
It's
it's
because it's
happening.
happening. That is a present participle, and the only reason why I know that is because I won $20 from my U.S. history teacher when he asked what part of speech is remaining. So yes, and who thinks that off the top of their head? But hey, it got me $20, so I'll never forget it.
Okay, all right, okay. And speaking of the international flow, we have this whole, and we're going to be hearing from a lot of you're going to hear a common theme today, today at least, because today is really about, just celebrating her, celebrating him, celebrating you, celebrating us. And I'm putting emphasis on the hers and the hymns, because we're going to be hearing from a lot of the authors, these author spotlights from these phenomenal books that I heard, called Her Story and Him Story and Her Story Too. So, but we're going to hear more about all of those. And then we got sprinkled in with some other phenomenal speakers that just answered the call and came to bless us, like Shavannah. And then we're going to hear from a couple other ones. But I just want to kind of take us, um, I wish I had my tea, but I don't have my tea in my what is it? In my biscuit.
I always
I
have
don't
some tea handy
I don't have my
because
tea in my biscuits. I need my biscuits right now. So, and a biscuit for Americans is, it's like actual is bread, right? But no,
right,
but
but
over
remember, no,
over
it's
across the
cookies. It's
pond.
something yummy.
Yes,
What is
yummy.
that? The
Something across the
biscotti?
pond.
Biscotti is like yeah, that's a go-to. That's a thing.
That's a good thing. So while we're putting all this up, so we have two of our amazing authors, because it's, I said good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're at in the world. Well, over, on the other side of the world across the pond, it's tomorrow already. So
In the
we said
UK.
in the UK, in the U of the K. So we said we're going to let them be great and go ahead and get your sleep, get your beauty rest. But they were so gracious to just kind of leave us with a couple of messages. So we're going to hear from two amazing of the authors from the Her Story and Her Story Too. But here's one we're going to hear from Miss Sarah Robinson. So you're going to hear, and it's so funny when she says this message. So just here we go. Whenever you're ready.
Oh, my voice isn't great. So I'm really happy for you to go on and maybe just say a little bit about about what I do, silent treatment, but just about my book, my journey, and how that's changed, and even to the point of, getting up and speaking in London was huge for me. But the one thing I would like you to really say is that everyone that's on this journey with you are so privileged to be part of the family and the movement that you're building. And if we're there for a reason. And for them to just keep going and enjoy every part of the journey, and just know that there's a reason why we're all in this space together. Yeah, and that's the message I'd like you to pass on. There's a reason we're all in this space together, and the connections that we make are more beyond business connections. There's more than that. There's it is a family. We've found a family. You've created a family, which is just so beautiful, and I really thank you for that. I'm happy for you to play that, but obviously I'm not sounding too great. But thank you, and I'm really sorry I'm not going to be there tonight.
Ah,
Was she crying at the end? You done made
I
this woman
think
cry.
so, because I'm about to cry. Just hearing that, I think I'm
I'm
about to
not
cry.
crying. You're crying.
I'm not crying. You're crying. Listen, we're gonna do a commentary. We're gonna. Okay, that's Jerry. I was like, who is that? That's Jerry. So yeah, we'll wait to hear from Haley. Let's hear from Haley.
away and do yourself a to-do list of something that you can concentrate and focus on, and a key thing you can get from each person. And I hope you guys have an amazing time. I'll look forward to hearing how it all goes, and I'm wishing you all the best. And if I don't speak to you before, have an incredible Christmas and festive times, and I will look forward to speaking to you all very soon, and I cannot wait for next year's conference. Mwah! Lots of love. Bye guys. Hello, beautiful people. Hayley Clugston Kirk here, all the way from the UK. I just wanted to jump in for a couple of minutes and just wish you guys the most amazing conference. I'm so sorry I cannot be with you in person tonight, but I just want to send you so much love, so much light, so much energy, and a huge thank you to Carolyn for everything that she's done for me. And I'm sure you guys will echo that back as well, because she is an incredible soul that has brought this conference together yet again. Another successful conference, I'm sure of it. I always receive so much energy from this and take away so much. And I've made some incredible lifelong friends through the connections through Carolyn, and she's just recently visited us here over in the UK, and it was amazing for our book tour of Her Story and Her Story Too, and it's incredible. And I have the absolute honor of being one of the incredible BSA's best-selling authors that have contributed towards that incredible anthology and book. So thank you so much, Carolyn, for everything that you've done for us. And I just wish you guys the most amazing conference. Soak up every single thing everybody says and try and take a key point from every single person tonight. And see if you can take one key point that you're going to take away and do yourself a to-do list of something that you can concentrate and focus on, and a key thing you can get from each person. And I hope you guys have an amazing time. I'll look forward to hearing how it all goes, and I'm wishing you all the best. And if I don't speak to you before, have an incredible Christmas and festive times, and I will look forward to speaking to you all very soon. And I cannot wait for next year's conference. Mwah.
Wonderful.
Oh my gosh. Listen, that's just taking me back. I just love their accents. Wait a minute, let me tell you. So I was just as she said, I was just over in London. So first and foremost, pause before I even go there. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you so much, Haley, for taking the time and a moment to just, just provide this message to us to share with the world of, what it means for you to be part of her story, to be part of celebrating you. And that's because we're still celebrating you, even though you can't physically be here, just like Shavannah. Thank you guys for just still being present. And that means a lot. That means a lot just to still be able to be present. Um, and Sarah, hope you feel better. So I'm sending shout outs to Sarah as well. So let's just recap that one for a second. What? Because I saw you over there. I saw you over, Doc. I saw you over there going, ooh.
Man, cause she was like, and then especially like when she broke down each letter, and I was just cause I feel like I've lived it like several times over in just this very short span that we've been apart. And when you hit me up and was like, yeah, so you want to host this thing I'm doing? I was like, what? Oh, because I haven't been doing anything. I have, but not anything public. I've been really withdrawn, hermit mode, and all of that stuff. But I've been extremely deep on learning to trust myself, and a lot of the stuff that's come through and that I kind of let slip through my fingers is mostly because I didn't trust myself with it. I didn't trust myself to take that step, to take the first step, to do the thing, to surrender to all of what's going on, and to really sit with it and be like, yeah, this is me. I can do this. I'm that. And like even with y'all calling me Doc Ock, like I had that like I'm not a doctor,
Yeah, that's right. We gave you that name, Doc Ock. Yes. And it fits you. And it fits you. And it fits you. Yes. So she has baby girl. See, that's the other extension of Doc Ock, right?
yeah, she went from foot to hands.
With the hand. Oh my gosh. So listen, I mean, just hearing their messages, like I said, I wanted to cry too, right? But it's really about, you know, I really, it's just like I said, it's putting the spotlight on everybody, like raising the lights, shine a light on us all, right? Because we're here to illuminate the world. Right? This is all part of the setup. No matter how you want to, how to say, slice it or dice it, right? Like I was explaining to my daughter the other day, like for instance, for the past 2 days I have attended celebration of life services, aka funerals, right? And so I had to let her know. I said, she was really kind of down about the one that we went to, was her mentor and teacher. But I said, you know, and she's like, she looked like she lived such an amazing life and she still had more life to live. And she said, it seems like all the pastors, they all say the same thing. And I'm like, yeah, this is true. I said, but she is still living her life and she's still living it through you. I said, because it's her light that has now transferred to you to now continue to carry on that torch, like the Olympic eternal flame. It never goes out, right? So just think of, that's all of us. We never go out. So when you're around a person that, no matter, every time you're around, you can't help but get happy. It's like, really, I'm trying to be mad right now. Why are you making me? Oh, I hate you right now. But you'd be like, these people are placed in your life for a reason, because they're teaching you that it's okay. Like, it's not that deep. It's okay. Right. And live your life to the fullest. So just continue to be that light that's there. So, ah, I'm just trying to tell you. So let's see. Where are we? Oh, okay. I see we are
And
coming.
speaking of getting started,
Yes.
so when you try and start the thing that you've been thinking about that gets you up early in the morning, it has you up late at night, the thing, how do you start that thing? How do you get out of the hamster wheel? How do you stop being somebody's employee? You got to start the business. Do the thing that you are called to do. Trust that you can do that thing and get all the tips you can. Because
Mm-hmm.
trust me, there's a whole bunch of people who've already done it wrong and they can tell you exactly how to not do it wrong and give you a whole lot of ways to do it right. So our next speaker is Champagne Graves, and she's going to help give you some ways to do it right.
Can't wait to hear this.
Oh.
Oh, I love the pink.
Welcome.
She got the memo to wear the pink. Love it.
For sure. Love it.
Awesome. 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 Let's see. Where are we at? There we go.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm really excited to talk to you guys about how to start a business. But first, I want to start with my own story. So I started my business with $20. And I know that that seems like a crazy amount of money, or a crazy amount of money not to have. But really, I was able to build with strategic relationships. And so I really kind of want to impress upon you the kind of relationships that you can build in your business in order to get things going. And these are just really great skills to have no matter what kind of business budget that you're working with. So there are 4 general types of relationships that you need to gain. The first one is someone to sponsor you. So someone who is maybe like a corporation, someone who is really of influence in your industry, someone to vouch for you that already has some credibility. So really networking and aligning yourself with people like that is going to be super important for them to kind of bring you forward and have you be that person that they are kind of putting their stamp of approval on. From there, you also need to be working with people that are on the same level as you. So doing service trades with those people is something that you can do to help cover costs in your business. So whenever you're doing a service trade with a peer, really thinking about what your profitable skill is and how that you can create a mutually beneficial situation. How this applied in my business was I was able to work with a publicist. I was able to work with a publicist, and I was able to really work with her to get my first couple of visibility campaigns going. And I was also in turn able to have her be someone that I was referring out because people saw the success of my projects. So that is something that you really need to think about. So who is on your level that you can trade services with and have that be like a mutually beneficial relationship. Also, you need to find someone that can mentor you. So that's a little bit different than someone sponsoring you. So someone who's a mentor, they're there for you not only in your business, but they're kind of there emotionally, especially in this journey. You're going to need to have someone that you can vent to. That's not always going to be your customers. It's not always going to be your partners. It needs to be someone who is seasoned, who's gone through the things that you will be facing, so that you can be able to kind of play off of their ideas and things like that, just so that you are making sure that you are always running things by someone that you can trust. And then last but definitely not least, you need to find someone that you can mentor. So a lot of times how this looked in my business was creating an internship program in which I was teaching young students or even adults that were just trying to gain new skills, how to work in certain aspects of my business. In turn, they were able to gain a skill set that they were able to use to transition on into a 9 to 5 job, freelance work, things like that. So obviously having those kinds of relationships is going to be super, super important. But a lot of people are like, okay, that sounds really great, Champagne, but how do I create those kind of relationships? And I would just say to be genuine. And for me, I really shine best one-on-one. So if I'm working with someone and I'm working a room, I really go in there with the game plan of, hey, I want to meet 1 to 3 people that I can go have coffee with after this, and genuinely try to get to know them. And more than anything, you make yourself available to see what you can do for them, because relationships return investment. It may not be all the time immediately, but eventually that investment will return. So I'm really excited about having the opportunity to give this knowledge to you guys. I have developed a method, and I do give that method out for free. It's called the $0 startup method. With that, you learn how to create an investment worthy story. I expand on the information of the kind of partners to pick, and then also finding out that first idea and being able to have a game plan to launch it. So I'm really excited to give that for free to the audience here. And yeah, again, I'm really excited to be here, and I'm honored to have this space.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Champagne. That was, I'm a note taker. So I took notes, and it's very useful information, and it's also a great way to be able to practice it. So you can, they sound like very doable things that you can go out and do tomorrow,
Yes.
or if it's not nighttime where you are today.
She's calling from Texas. She's in Dallas, Texas.
Yes, I
My family out there, they're still trying to get me to move out there. I don't know, it'd be too hot.
will come on over.
120
It's fun over
degrees.
here.
I don't know. I was struggling with the 90 degrees we had all summer here, so I don't.
Yes, it
Oh,
gets
that's
hot.
enough. It gets hot, hot. Yeah, I was just out in Dallas back in September. Yeah. And it was hot. It was hot, hot. Stays hot. Well, listen, I got the notes, I got the replay, I got the freebie. Thank you. Listen, these are
And I
part of
think the service sharing, that's probably like definitely one of the the bigger points, because I've been saying this for years. Like when I first started trying to get into the entrepreneurial space, I'm like, eventually money's gonna go away and we're all gonna go back to bartering and we're just gonna service each other. That's
Exactly.
it. Oh, what do you do? Okay, well, I'm looking for a personal trainer. Okay, well, I'm looking for a personal chef. All right, you cook for me and I'm gonna help you work out. All right, let's go. Like
Yes, love it.
Bartering is, I'm a bartering babe boss, okay? Listen, if I can't tell you anything about it, I know exactly what that is, and I use it well. I definitely use it well. So wow, well, thank you so much for joining us and being part and just saying yes. Um, listen, saying yes is we never know what doors they open, right? All I know is I like to say that your yeses will continue to open doors and your no's get you nowhere. So that's all part of your setup. Just continue to open up and continue to say yes and continue to go and grow in everything that you do because starting a business is one part, but it can't get there until you get you. Till you get
so
you all.
she's already ready. She got the overflow ready to get people to come up and sip from the overflow. She's like, okay, but wait till I show you how I filled my cup though.
No, that, oh my gosh, that is so like the overflow. The overflow. Let's talk about the overflow. We don't even operate in the overflow. We operate primarily in nothingness, right? We operate in an empty cup because we
Out here,
pour out. We keep pouring it out. We pour it out. And then we think that things are coming back to us, but there's a hole. And it never gets filled back up. But we keep giving out what we don't even have. Oh,
yeah.
pause on that.
That's what I tell them. I'm like, I don't pour nothing out. No, you that get from the overflow, or you wait until I get me some overflow. Those are your two options.
Well, let me tell you. Those are the two options. Those are the only options. Overflow. I just love the overflow. That's where I try to operate from. It takes a
Yeah.
long lesson. So it takes a very long lesson. So listen. So my brain is on overflow right now because I'm tomorrow. I'm so into I'm here today, but I'm still thinking about tomorrow. Listen, tomorrow. So listen, we have the reason why we're here today is because so many people were like, yo, I have this message, right? That want to be able to speak. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Champagne. We got to take the tip to Champagne back for her. Thank you. Listen, when you don't have room enough to receive, that's the overflow. That's the
And that's what
overflow.
it
We're
is. Yeah.
here tonight because of the overflow. And I'm just going
You
to leave
can't
it.
fill up an overturned cup. If you're constantly pouring out, can't nothing pour into you.
Can't nothing pour back in to nothing. Nothing gets nothing. Okay. All right. So let's see. I am, and my everything is getting, no, not everything, but it's getting to the point where I'm trying to find out who's coming up next. But I believe it's Sasha. So,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you.
Oh, and Champagne did share her startup freebie. So it's called thezerostartup.com. It's all one word, THEZEROSTARTUP.com.
Awesome.
I feel like I
Okay.
just want to spelling bee.
Well, thank you. You did. So listen, so right now we have our next amazing speaker coming up to the forefront. Hey, listen, this one, I had the pleasure of meeting her the other night. We had an amazing meet and greet with all of our speakers that came on that were able to. And let me tell you, talk about overflow, talk about light, talk about this light that gets passed on. Man, you guys are in for an amazing treat with this next light that's about to come and shine with us all. So bring up to the stage Miss Sasha Walton.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Hello, look, her lighting is perfect. Are you using a ring light? You got it on Amazon?
Yes.
Or is this just your inner glow?
It's
her inner
all of it. All of it.
It's her inner glow. It's her inner glow.
Oh, thank you guys. It's a pleasure being here with you all tonight. Thank you so much.
You're
Hi.
welcome. Well, stage is yours.
All right, thank you. Hey, everybody. I am Sasha Walton. I am your business strategist and the CEO of SWI Management Group. And I'm excited about being here tonight and just sharing some nuggets with you about um, the blueprint of success begins with you and how you start off in a business. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and just wrap this thing up and keep going. Um, I'm not too used to the time crunch, but hey, I'm going to make it. But anyway, so one thing about me, I have a personal brand and a company. I have this beautiful ecosystem that I've just merged together. And with my company, we do business development, planning, and event production. But I do lead my company with my brand. And I'm the business strategist, the podcast host, the author, the speaker, and so forth. And I've been in business for over 20 years. And why did I start my business? And so, like with many of you, I know if you're out there considering a business or you started a business or whatever you're doing to make money, it was something to capitalize and monetize your skills and to bring extra income into your business, right? Into your household, right? So that's what I did. I was a single mother. I found out I could do something very well, and that was event planning and business development, and I monetized it, and I've been running with it ever since. Now, my passion is helping people. I love helping others. I love helping entrepreneurs grow and start and grow sustainable businesses. And with the pandemic, I was impacted, shut the business down for 2 years, but I came back. And with that, I've been more motivated to help people start and grow sustainable businesses because so many people lost their business. So that's why I'm here today and speaking with you about, starting a business, but also looking at it from a terms of mindset as well. And so we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So I have 3 or 4 tips for you tonight about starting a business. First off is the mindset. Everything that you do and who you are is reflective in everything that you do, right? So even if you start a business, who you are is reflective into that. The business is an extension of you, and how you show up actually states on how well that business is going to do. So we have so many things that's so always, impacting us. There's fear, there's procrastination, there's, limiting beliefs, and all those things are the things that keep us bound and keep us from going into the next step. Now, this theme for this conference is the setup, right? And it's about elevation. So now we're closing out this year, we're going into a new year. So we're going to have that mind right, and you're going to start those businesses. If you did and you shut it down, start it again, because there's always a new opportunity somewhere. So I want to go ahead and tackle that mindset. Remember, you got to believe, you got to be positive. You have to know that regardless of who's on your side or not, as long as you're there and you're going to show up for yourself and for your family and build legacy, continue to roll on with that and be in it to win. Be in it to win, you guys. And don't let fear grip you, and don't let procrastination stop you, because that is a beast in itself, right? And, we all know that entrepreneurship is not for the weak, but we all know that we can be strong in this too. There are a lot of beautiful moments in entrepreneurship, and there are a lot of ugly moments as well. But it's about how you continue to move forward and tackle that mindset. So no matter who you are, the mindset could get the best of you sometimes, but when you're staying focused on your goals and knowing that you want to achieve more, then you go ahead and tackle that. So the next tip is planning and developing and executing. This is the most crucial area. It is the beginning phase of starting a business. A lot of people would say, go ahead and just start it, just do it, get out there, do it scared. I mean, that's to motivate you. However, a plan is definitely needed. When you're sitting around, you're thinking about starting that business, really, that's the time when you could write down all those little thoughts and put it out there on paper. So when you are ready to look at it from that standpoint of taking action, you have things that you can pull together and actually make a plan. In this process, you will understand, like, what are your goals? What are your vision? What is your why behind starting a business, whether it's product based or service based? You can find your target audience in this phase of starting your business and planning and development. It is also understanding, what's your budget going to be like? What are your financial projections? How are you going to manage your business and build a team, and all these things, formation, whether you're going to be an LLC, S corp, C corp, whatever it is. This part of it is crucial. So I don't know, and I would say I don't really care what anybody else say, about not having a business plan and just starting it, that is not the key. And that is not going to keep you sustained. It could get you as far as it's going to get you, but your foundation has to be strong. It has to be built. It has to be strong. It has to be healthy. And the way it's going to be healthy is you have those plans and you're being strategic about it, and you can move forward in the right direction and knowing that you don't have to spin your wheels, unnecessarily, right? And and also you want to consider your marketing, your branding strategies as well. Another tip I have is networking, collaborating, and remaining teachable. This is a very I know we hear that word collaboration all the time right now, right? And you may hear collaboration is the new competition, all this other stuff. I don't like saying that. I just say collaboration is true partnership. And when you build, and I think Champagne actually touched on it, when you build on relationships, that is the thing that helps you to grow. You're coming together to grow together. And of course, you have your own separate goals. But when you come together for one goal, you have the opportunity to grow. When you're networking with other people, with other business, other organizations, you never know who you're going to meet that can be the person who's going to catapult you to the next level or elevate you to the next phase of your business and in your life. And so you want to be open. You want to be always ready to receive healthy networks, healthy collaborations. And when I say remain teachable, always be ready to learn. We know things, we are experts in everything we do, right? But there's always something else that we can learn, because in business, everything is always changing. So you always want to make sure you're on top of it all, right? So you do that by remaining teachable. Get a mentor, get a business coach, or whatever it is that you know that you need to help you to take you to the next level. You definitely do that. And then my last tip is prioritizing self-care. Mental health and entrepreneurship is definitely a thing. We can burn our candlesticks from both ends. We could keep going, but we have to know that we need to know our capacity. Operate within what you know you can operate within. So that way you're not burning yourself out. Prioritize self-care. What does that look like for you? Is that a walk in the park? Is that sitting on the beach? Is that working out? Whatever it is, make sure you do those things. Have your automations in place, and then also set your time limits. If you get off at 5 o'clock on that business, clock out. If you're doing a 9 to 5, right, you will easily say, I'm clocking out at 5 o'clock, right? And not get anything else. Make sure you do that for your business as well, especially if you're running a business, have a family, and a 9 to 5, and whatever else you could do. Because, like us women, we would take on the world, but we have to make sure that we are healthy physically and mentally to be able to be in position to do the great things that we're doing and that we're purposed to do. And so I think that is my time. And thank you so much once again. I'm Sasha Walton, the business strategist and CEO of SWI Management Group. And I do have a freebie. I gave it to the ladies as a link for my business plan journal. And then actually, I'm just generous. And I have another one where I'm doing 15-minute chats. So if you would like to schedule a call with me, first come, first serve, definitely do that. They'll have the links. And it's been a pleasure being with you tonight.
Loved it. And I got notes now, right? Look, because my favorite point that you made was have a plan. You can have all the motivation, all the support in the world, but if you building that castle on sand, baby, tide comes in, business goes out. Loved it. And the self-care thing, we ended up talking about it on accident, talking about our overflowing filling cups and stuff, but it's super duper important for all areas of life. This adulting thing. I'm just now 35 and I'm still trying to okay, piece it together for me, please. Send help.
I know that's right. And look, I just turned 50. So it's like, you know what? You got to be able to maintain this thing, maintain your life and keep it going. You got to stay healthy and wise. So, yeah,
Yes.
you got to do that.
Thank you so much, Sasha, for sharing
all
all of that
all the
wonderful
above.
wisdom. All of that wonderful wisdom.
Yeah.
And the freebie. Yes, I
all
love the
that
freebie.
wonderful wisdom. Look, and the freebies. Wait a minute. So I don't. Did y'all hear she was giving out like some calls? Y'all better jump on them calls with her.
Yeah,
Did you
because
hear that?
I
Listen,
sure opened the link in the new tab and her calendar popped up and she only got a few dates on here for next week. So look, get your slots.
better get in. Hey, get your slots. Get in where you fit in. I'm just saying. Oh man. So listen, there's so many nuggets that she dropped. It was one thing in particular that stood out, but it just kind of went, it'll come back. It'll be like maybe the fourth speaker later. I'll be like, oh yeah, Sasha said, I don't know, just charge it to multitasking or trying to, I guess. I don't know. But in any event, but listen, thank you, Sasha. That was so, you know,
Oh, was it leading the business with the brand?
yeah,
That
yeah.
was the first thing she mentioned.
Leading
I
the
told you
business
I
with
take notes.
the leading the business with the brand. I know you took notes. Apparently, I didn't. I got a big old F. I didn't take any notes. So listen, she said what she said, okay, and that's what she said.
Right.
Listen, I can't even listen. A spade is a spade. I got caught in the cookie jar. I'm like, when the teacher catches you, you're supposed to be doing something. You're supposed to be paying attention.
Right.
You daydreaming. Oh, they're like Carolyn, and I'm like, huh, what, huh? That was one of the things that I remember. I was my report cards and my parent teachers. They say, well, Carolyn's an excellent student, but she daydreams a lot. I guess
Oh,
it's
I got
always
the
been the
talkative. I
case.
was a talker. I would finish my work and talk to
Oh, you
everybody
was a
else who
talker.
hadn't finished their work.
I was always somewhere else. I don't know where I was. I was on Pluto. I don't know where the heck I was. Well, anyway. But listen, so far we are on a roll. We are on a roll. We are on a roll. So let's see, where are we? I just had it open. That's what I've been trying to get open because having issues with it.
Yes. Uh-oh, did she freeze? She froze. She froze. It's okay. I'm I'm here with you. That's this is that a song? That's a song, not a song. Okay, I made it up.
That's the
It's all right.
song. I don't know. Okay,
I
yeah,
made it
we're
up.
all here. We're had. She's offering 15 light bulb chats. There we go. There's Sasha's offer
Yes.
right there in the chat right there. So go ahead, you see, and you click on it. We'll put it in the actual comments, so that way you can have it and go to it later. So who do we have coming up next? I think it's a duel. What you think?
I think
I
so too.
think so too. I think, there's this thing, right? Like I said, we talked about earlier about this thing with like him and but then I think you can't have him without her, and you can't have her without him.
It's a twofer.
Yeah, it's a twofer. So let's just bring them on. Let's just bring on Lee, Sandra, and Ricardo.
Welcome, welcome.
Bringing some more light from the Sunshine State, even though it's dark right now because you're on the same time zone. But I'm gonna pretend that it's sunshine. Bringing the sunshine. Bringing the sunshine. So
What's up, beautiful people?
what
We're here in
going
Central
on?
Florida.
Gorgeous,
Good
gorgeous.
weather. Good to be here. Happy and excited. And just thank you for having us. Here's my wonderful, beautiful high school girlfriend, Lisandra, my wife. And we're just happy to be here. Thank you so much.
So my name is Lee Sandra, the way Carolyn said it. She said it all with that sass. So I love how she introduced us, because you can't have him without her, and you can't have her without him. So we've been together for 20 years plus, right? So we've been together since we were like 6 years old, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Just kidding. But we're a dual entrepreneur household, and I just I have to say that it's something when you decide to take on a task at work at a 9 to 5, and everybody is open to have whatever they want to do. But when you go to a 9 to 5, you exactly do that 9 to 5, right? And you clock in and you clock out. But when you're an entrepreneur, you never clock out, right?
Literally.
And you work 8 days a week, 25 hours a day. But it's you have two avenues, right? Both can be hard. You choose your hard. So our hard is gratifying because we get to have some freedom and flexibility on our
Right.
life and our schedules. So I'd love for them to hear a little bit about you and how you fit into my story.
Yeah, we're definitely one of those weird couples, I guess, right? That just work well together, gel well together, and our story is still being written, and definitely stick around for it because something great is gonna happen. Um, and yes, I became a best-selling author, and I have a chapter on there, and there's my story. Um, I personally couldn't have done it without my wife. We're a young couple, and we had our first son super early, and many struggles, financial, spiritual, mental. I mean, just from A through Z. And yeah, we're going on 21 years now, and it definitely hasn't been easy, but it's been a beautiful story. I wouldn't change it for anything, and I couldn't have written my chapter. I couldn't have written my story without my wife. Period. It was a team effort, and the day we met Carolyn, it was just immediately she just looked over and said, "I need you in my book." After maybe 10 minutes of speaking, um, and my answer to her was, "I don't even know how to write." And she said, "That's exactly what I want." So that showed how crazy she was and how crazy my faith is. And it worked well together. And we're just extremely happy to be here. And it's been amazing, honestly.
And then, I'm so happy about this conference. We just got to meet Carolyn throughout the pandemic, and very strong connection. And I'm so excited to see what journey our life has to go by. But something that I realized is that she's a woman that wants to connect people for the good, right? So you're attending this conference because you want something more. You want more out of your life. So, I don't choose a resolution for the new year. And if I can give you a tip is find a word that you can take for the rest of the year. So I decided to pick a word already, and I'm going to share it with you, which is the word fresh, right? Because none of the speakers I think really planned for all of the topics that they've spoken about kind of segue into each other. But one of the first speakers, which she was talking about, is the acronym for trust. And I was like, wow, I was taking notes like Octavia. And then I'm like, okay, I can't keep up. So I'm just going to copy Octavia's notes. But what I can tell you is my word fresh is because, this year has been challenging. You know, you don't realize, regardless if you work corporate America or if you're an entrepreneur, you don't realize the tolls that some mental challenges are going to take you on. So, you have to figure out who you are, be authentically you. You being you is a superpower, right?
Absolutely.
And if we're gonna get real, let's get real. Gangster recognizes gangster. So if you're authentic, right, and you tell somebody your true story, then they're gonna respect that. So this 2024, I'm taking that fresh start, that fresh story. And I'm gonna tell you, I want you guys to I had some notes that I wanted to share with you guys, because you know whether you are looking for a connection for a side hustle, or because you're starting a business, or just you want to go up the ladder where you're working at, it's about connections. It's not who you know, it's the relationships that you build. So connect. It's the connections are the listening part, not the talking part. What do you want? What do you want to get out of your business? And how can you help others to get to what they want? Whether it's through your service, through your business, or through whatever you're trying to connect, whatever you're trying to elevate yourself with. So, you know, God wants us to have three things, right? And it's what we were born for, what's our purpose, right? What when we're being called home, and then when we got here. So the thing that I want to tell you is that you have to take on your a business partner, an accountability partner. And I can't build my story without him, and he hasn't been able to build his story without me.
Yeah.
So when you're going to run, whether it's in life, in starting a business, in building new relationships,
Yeah.
make sure that you have somebody that calls you out but calls you up, right?
Of course.
Anything else you have to share?
One thing I learned this season is that I wouldn't say becoming, I would say realizing, recognizing when a man becomes honorable, intelligent, and mature, it's kind of like leveling up. So that was an upgrade. Now there's a 2.0, there's a 3.0. And at least for me, being completely transparent, that's where it became challenging. It became kind of a hard season for me. Um, but it showed me what I'm made of. It showed me where I stand, who I am, and what I'm about. And I'm the son of a living God. So I'm almost perfect, man. I'm just keeping it real. And it was amazing doing my story and including my wife because it's just been a beautiful journey. I am who I am today thanks to her, and I honor her. I respect her. I love her dearly, and I'm really glad and honored to be here with my wife, sharing this opportunity with you guys. Thank you so much.
And the last thing that he shared with me today, and I was like, that was such a drop the mic moment because on Fridays we have date days. We date ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So I date my business partner. Is that sometimes we worry about all the bad quote unquote the bad things that happen to us, but that's just God allowing us to get set up for his good, right? So I was like, that was such a drop the mic moment. I'm like, did you just realize what you just said? We celebrate the good and we're like, yes, oh my God. And then we're like, damn, that was hard. Damn, that was challenging. Man, I've cried a lot. And then God says, you know, like the usher meme,
That was that was also done for good. So
that was also done for good. This way, right?
so therefore he just don't
Let's
mess up and he keeps proving it and it's amazing. It really is.
So to all the
it's
attendees,
amazing.
I am
Listen,
a 15-minute beauty boost for every attendee. You just got to click the link and I'm going to take care of you. Skin analysis, and we're going to talk about your beauty your way.
I love it. My favorite point. Don't worry, I will type these notes out and I'll make sure Miss Carolyn gets them to you. I'm so serious though. But my favorite point is that it's not who you know, it's the relationships you build.
Absolutely.
And that was so important because people are always trying to gather these contacts and network here, but they're not really building a connection. So you go to reach out to this person because now you need something. They don't know who you are. I ain't got time for you. Who are you? Are you on my schedule? No, I don't know you. Because you didn't take the time to build the relationship, to pour into them what you are going to be looking to magnify. Okay, magnify the essence. Be fruitful and multiply and receive back. It takes work.
and receive that.
And,
It takes work.
and one
It
of the
takes work.
comments said, it sounds like a power couple.
Hey.
Yeah, power couple. Oh, absolutely. Power couple.
it's
Power couple. Power
cool.
power couple
Absolutely.
indeed. So listen, I'm loving the fact that we definitely have this power couple here, and it's the setup because I was trying to in my head trying to figure this out, but I'm like, this is how it's supposed to be. And as you guys were talking, I was like, oh, this was the setup. I love it, and it's really showing everybody that you're right. You truly can't have him without her. Can't have her without him. and you two just so eloquently just explained and showed how that happens and how you support each other and how, you help write each other's story, right? Because you are each other's story. Right? And the one thing that I wrote was that gangster move, real recognizes real. Okay. So, Miss Lisa, no, it's a little side behind the scene thing. Miss Lisa. So I'm gonna call this one her nickname, Miss Lisa. There's a whole story behind that. But thank you guys, thank you guys, thank you guys, thank you guys. Thank you for bringing that sunshine because I know I needed it right about now. So listen, you guys, listen. Oh my gosh, are you if you guys are excited about, I want you to put excited in the chat. I want you to put excited in the chat. Drop some nuggets. I want to see excited. I want to see the word excited. I want to see the word excited because this is just a portion, a portion, a portion of what you're going to get. And this is just today. Like, oh my God, I can't even talk about tomorrow yet, but we will, but we will. But I just want to see. Yes, I see yes is in the chat. I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it. So speaking of in the chat, I have this next person that's about to come up. This is actually, so we're gonna keep this theme going with this him story, right? But this one right here, when you hear what he has to tell you, all I'm gonna say is you're gonna listen. You're gonna start thinking about some things. You're gonna put things in a different perspective. That's all I'm gonna say. Because he's gonna keep it real versus real. And that is none other than, I'm privileged to have family on this joint, right? I got two of them coming up back to back. But the first one you're gonna hear from is my man LA. I know him as Alex, but you guys know him as LA. But this is my amazing, amazing, amazing cousin who he just is like, he's just there. And I want to tell you that when he does what he does, you're gonna be like, okay, he's gonna really give you some food to think about. Isn't that right, LA?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, all right, y'all can see me and all that good stuff.
Yeah, we can see you. You rock and
All right.
roll. Go ahead, it's you. It's all you.
Awesome. Well, first of all, what's going on, everybody, man? Pumped up, fired up, super excited. Excellent job. Goodness gracious, man. I'm telling you, the couples taking over. The him story, the her story, it all fitting together like a puzzle. I'm telling you, that's absolutely phenomenal, right? It kind of reminds me, it's so exciting about something that my wife and I, Karen knows, my wife and I were in business together, teaching financial services and all kind of stuff like that. I have another company called the Dealer Synergy where we train automotive professionals and all of that kind of good stuff. But man, we wanted to have something of our own, and we created something fresh. I'm talking about brand new. I'm talking about like less than 60 minutes ago, right? Just completed something called the Success Banquet, right? Cool. ChatGPT actually made the logo for us. It's kind of cool that my man Russ helped us out. But like we could create the Success Banquet because I just believe that there are a lot of people out there who really want to be successful. I know that's how I was, right? Growing up, man, I was one of those kids where, I'm from North Philly, so Carolyn, we all from North Philly, right? That's where the family is from, and that's not typically the place where you go to find the next successful individual, right? That's just not, what I'm saying, not typical. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. And so for me, I wanted to grow up. I wanted to be successful. I knew I wanted to be somebody, but I also knew I had some limitations, right? Or what people would call limitations. One, being from North Philly. Number two, being totally blind, right? I actually lost my sight at the age of 3 due to having glaucoma. So on my 3rd birthday, I had my 12th surgery and I lost my sight completely. And listen, I'm not saying that to get any kind of pity or anything. I want y'all to understand. I'm more so saying it because, man, growing up, I wanted to be able to do all the stuff all the other kids did. You know what I'm saying? It was other kids that was outside riding their bike. Man, I wanted to ride my bike too. So what? I can't see. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was other kids that was playing video games and all kind of stuff like that. Guess what I wanted to do, y'all? I wanted to play video games too. Like, I don't like nobody putting limits on me based off what they think I can and cannot do. Y'all feel how I feel? Somebody drop the words no limits in the chat. Just put the words no limits in the chat if you don't like other people putting limits on you based off what they think you can and cannot do, okay? So I'm confident that unless I'm on the wrong webinar and you know what I'm saying, y'all probably putting no limits in the chat. I don't really have no way to check on that, you know what I'm saying? I have to get Kyle and somebody tell me, right? But here's the deal. I think if we're gonna really live a life of no limits, we're going to need one of the conversations I had in the book, right, was all about vocabulary and things like that. So, something I did kind of at 6 years old, but we're gonna switch it up today. I want to talk about the ABCs of success, right? The ABCs of success, right? So, what are you talking about, LA? The ABCs? Well, I'm gonna put it to you like this. I think there's got to be some things that we're really focusing on. And I think if we do focus on it, we will achieve success at a level that we never really knew was possible. So now I might got to get some direction. Now, normally I can say what I want to say, but I don't know because am I talking to the crowd that I got to be like, I got to sugarcoat stuff to, or is this the tough crowd? I don't really know which crowd this is because I don't know if the
you got the crowd LA because they are no limits.
Okay.
ABC, my brother, ABC's dropped the nugget. So go ahead. No, you got them. Keep it going.
Is this the tough crowd or the crowd where I need to sugarcoat it? Y'all can type it in the chat for me real quick. I don't know if this is the tough crowd or the sugarcoat crowd because I know it's a Friday night, so I don't know which crowd we got tonight. I'm just asking which one am I talking to because I have to tailor my language, right, based off of the toughness of the skin of the people who I'm talking to. So, Carly, you just gotta let me know. Am I talking to the tough crowd?
We tough. Come on.
Okay. So y'all can handle it.
They bring it.
All right.
Tell it like it is. T.I. is. Tell it like it T.I. is.
Okay. All right. Good. So one of the things let's talk about the A, right? The A stands for achieving personal goals, right? Achieving personal goals. Well, a lot of times people don't achieve personal goals. I'm gonna tell y'all the real reason why. It's because we'd rather make excuses. Like we cannot expect ourselves to achieve personal goals if we're going to allow ourselves to make excuses. That's just, for me, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all about a story. One time I had a gentleman, he make about $100 million a year. He was coaching me on, what I needed to do to be successful, right? He's like, LA, he's talking to a whole group of people. He said, you got to write your goals down, right? And here I go thinking, okay, well, I mean, I'm blind, so maybe I could record my goals. So I put my hand up. I said, hey, can I record my goals? And he was like, no, LA, you got to write them down. So he continues to teach the class and everything like that. I'm like, can I type my goals? He's like, no, if you type your goals, you are going to only fire on about 800 different algorithms. But when you write them down, it's like 9,200. So you literally lose, almost 10,000% of the effectiveness when you just type. You got to write it down. So I finally felt, okay, let me give him I said, I'm blind, right? He was like, so? And I was just, I so respected him for breaking that down to me like that, right? He said, because writing your goals has nothing to do with other people looking at them. It got to do everything with you, right? And so, man, I'm telling you, from that moment, I thought I didn't make excuses before, man. I'm telling you, he really took every single excuse off the table. And so, again, no matter what, I don't care if you're tired. So what, you're tired? If you told yourself you were going to do something, man, you got to begin to keep your word to yourself. So many times we don't do that. So that's just talking about achieving personal goals, okay? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about B, building strong relationships, right? Building strong relationships. If we're going to succeed in life, I promise you, building strong relationships is a part of it. Now, I got some people in here that say, well, LA, I'm not really a people person. You're lying, right? You are a people person. You just don't like the work that it takes to be with people. Right. But listen, if you would learn to embrace it, look, because I promise you, people think I'm a people person and all that. I mean, maybe I am, maybe I ain't, right? But here's the thing. I like people, right? I love people, but sometimes I want to love you from afar, right? Sometimes I'm like, yeah. You ever just be kind of like done with people? Like, I'm just done. Like, all right, like we spent enough time together. This is enough. All right, time for me to go home and just kind of kick it with my wife. You understand what I'm saying? So, but it doesn't mean I'm not a people person. Again, like it's just you get to a space when you're done, right? So again, what I'm sharing with you is that you have to build strong relationships if you plan to be successful. So you can't run that lie and tell yourself you're not a people person. You just got to put in the work that it takes to be around people. Because I promise you it takes work, okay? Let's talk about career growth. Career growth, right? Because it doesn't matter whether you're an entrepreneur, which of course, I'm always going applaud the entrepreneurs, right? We give a round of applause for the entrepreneurs. Always gonna do that, right? But here's the deal. All right, that's enough. Audience, y'all clapping too loud. Listen. The real deal is it doesn't matter whether you're an entrepreneur or whether you're working corporate America, as she was just lovely saying, right? The point is there is a system, right, that it takes in order to achieve growth. And you have to be able to think like a leader, right? Man, I had one of my gentlemen, he was in I don't know if I should tell the story. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. But he was out in Idaho for a couple days, right? And so he flew in and his flight landed at 5:55 in the morning. So he was just like, do I have to come to work the next day? And it was like, okay, well, am I still gonna get paid? And it's like, well, I just don't understand the thought process because I'm just like, for me, listen, I'm gonna tell you what I would have done in the situation, right? Now, this, mind you, this is coming from a person who started literally at the bottom of the company and grown up to be the vice president and part owner, right? I'm just telling you how I would have handled it. First, what I do is I would initially, like early in my career, I'd show up, right? Because people don't think you're going to show up. They're like, I would have just let you. I didn't know you was gonna come in. You just landed at 5:55 in the morning, and you still came to work, right? So I kind of let them see that my dedication and all that kind of stuff, right? And so then once I established, maybe I don't know if I'm supposed to tell y'all this. And once I established that, dang, LA, he gonna do what he like. It might be a time where I'm like, I ain't showing up, right? I holla at y'all another day, right? But I totally would not expect for somebody to pay me for a day that I'm not showing up, right? And then what happens is people go, well, wait a minute, normally he would show up, so let's give him the day off with pay. I'm just saying the thought process of an entrepreneur and how we're like, wow, we want to appreciate our people. But I mean, look, I promise you, I don't do no asking. I'm not even recommending that other people do what I'm doing. But I'm just saying that I don't do no asking. I just tell folks how it's going to be, right? And people respect my leadership. So that's career growth. You got to have a certain level of leadership, man. You got to lead yourself before you can lead others. So those are the ABCs of success. I guess I'll give you another one because I'm going to give you the F, right? Because I know I got to give you F because I got to talk about financial prosperity, right? Make sure that you understand finances, right? That's just come on now. We gotta make sure we understand money. I think that's extremely important. If y'all agree, y'all can type finances in the chat because I mean all of this stuff is cute, but if it's not paying us no daggone money, we gonna be like, oh, I don't know, right? The other thing is health and well-being, right? We want to make sure that we are. Listen, every single morning, oh my gosh, I don't like it. I be so mad at myself. Why did you agree to do this with yourself, LA? But I go get on the treadmill, man, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, listen, I told myself I was going to do it, right? Health and well-being, that type of stuff is important, man. You got to eat healthy. We got to take care of ourselves, right? I mean, listen, they talk about, if we had a really nice car, you had this, just think of your favorite kind of car, Mercedes, Jaguar, right? Whatever. And you had it, man, and it was the only one you was ever going to have, man. You take the best care of it in your entire life. You be like, oh, man, don't nobody scratch my car. Don't nobody eating in my car. I don't want no odors in my car. Don't be looking at my car wrong, right? We would treat it so beautifully. Wax it, wash it all the time, right? And that's a car. And meanwhile, we get one body and we don't, treat it with that level of respect. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to make sure that we do that. And then the last thing I'm going to say, I promise you I'm going to shut up because I know I'll be talking forever, right? Is just plain old personal development. man, if you want to get better at your career, you want to get better at building relationships, you want to get better at achieving personal goals, sometimes it's just pure, unadulterated personal growth, right? Read a daggone book. You know what I'm saying? Like, go to a conference. Oh, wait, you are at a conference, so I can't tell you that. But, like, you got to be in these places. You got to be in position, right? To put yourself, you got to grow personally on a daily, weekly, monthly level, man. You need to be able to look back at December, what's today's date? 8th, 2022 and go, wow, man, look at how much I've grown, right? And if that's not the case, then what I want you to do is I want you to put your eyes on the future and say, I can't wait until December 8th, 2024 so I can say, wow, man, look how much I've grown. And so, man, if y'all want some assistance, y'all like, hey, you know what, LA, I want to grow, but man, I want to be around what you got going on. I told y'all less than 60 minutes ago, we just created our Success Banquet. It's actually it's a podcast called the Success Banquet. But of course, we got a Facebook group, Success Banqueteers, right? So y'all go to Facebook, whoever's on Facebook, Success Banqueteers. I'm sure we're going to tie Instagram to it when we finally figure that part out. And if y'all want to just text me, if you like, LA, wait, I don't have no way to write that down. I'm driving right now. I'm doing whatever I'm doing right now. Just send me a text. Pull out your phone. Send me a text, okay? Number is 267-551-6279. Again, 267-551-6279. Go ahead and put that in the chat for me real quick, somebody. Just put it in the chat, and then what's going to happen is I'm going to send you a link to put your number in my phone. I told you I'm blind, so I'm going to let y'all put your number in my phone yourself, right? So, again, 267-551-6279. Ask for more information on the Success Banquet, and when we record the first episode, I'm going to make sure I send it to you. You know what I mean? You get all the information that you're looking for, man. So, listen, and then outside of all that, look, Carolyn, that's my cousin. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna know how to get in contact with me. Absolutely. So Carolyn, I hope that helps for me to break down a couple little ABCs of success.
Yes,
Absolutely,
always
absolutely.
a total package every time you're on. And I love the sound effects. Like that's it always cracks me up.
Always the total package. Always the total package. So thank you, LA. Thank you. So before we get back to our next hymn, we're gonna slide in just for like 2 seconds, just a pause for the cause, 2 seconds, because the person, our behind the scenes person, we gotta give her a shout out for a second, right? We gotta give her a shout out. And so let me see, where's she at? We got to rock true for nothing at all. So I'm trying to find. Look, she see me doing. Now I gotta do it. See, this is why she's supposed to be doing the stuff, because I'd be messing stuff up.
Yeah, she was
I'm here, Royals. I'm here.
Hello, Queen. There you go. Oh, I'm over here. Hi. So, what you want to tell the folks? Doing well. Thank you so much for being behind the scenes, for having us, for being, taking us back to our Rock Truth days and our Queen conference and things of that nature. So thank you for helping us grow in the way that we are.
Amen, Queen. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm honored. I'm always honored to serve. It is such a blessing to always be in the company of yourself and Doc Ock, and then all the greatness that was here. And then King, LA, like today, you truly inspired me to be a higher me. I have no excuses. One thing, and it's crazy because everything you were talking about, especially with personal development, and this season has truly taught me. Usually around this time, my life always corresponds with school semesters. So when they're graduating, I'm graduating. When semester ends for me. And I got hit on, even during the final season for this season, I got hit with some extra credit work from God, and it was to work on my vulnerability. And it's that for me, man. It's that I've always been a very private person. I've always been a person that will not share what's truly growing on behind my eyes, or behind my smile. And in this season, I've been challenged, and I take on the Rock True Challenge always, right? And so with vulnerability, this piece is imperative, especially for us queens. This piece is imperative because we get hit with so many things in life, as just a sample of vulnerability. It's been 2 years and I'm still battling homelessness. I'm the new face of homelessness. Like, it don't look like what you think. And so to continue striving towards rock truth absolutely no, and pressing towards that mark, which is Christ, and bringing forth his kingdom at all costs, laying down my life for this one thing that I do, you know, um, man, vulnerability, being able to share that openly and still smiling, listen, not letting it get me down. But then also sharing with the people that are around me, because I help so many people. But in this season, I have to receive help. And so it is grand to see that I have rock true friends that are coming out of every place, every nook and cranny, to assure that not that I have a residence, but inside of my mindset, I have peace that resides. And so I want to shout out definitely to my representing the Priestley's cast and crew. Shout out to that shameless plug on that sitcom coming out, Black sitcom representing love, life, and laughter. Shout out personally, Dr. J, the comedian, to my friend Nikki and Reese, and then also to an unexpected friend, David, who dropped in our Priestley group today about in all things acknowledge God. Yo, that took me out today because it's the answer. In all things acknowledge him. No matter what you're growing through, no matter what is happening around you, acknowledge him, give him his reverence, and he will direct your path. So I challenge you, queens, to vulnerability. I challenge you, queens, to leading with your heart. No matter what's going on, don't close yourself up. Don't do that. Open yourself up to the next one and the next one and the next one, knowing that you don't have to protect yourself anymore. God is going to protect you. Don't worry about that. Just be his vessel. So I thank you again for this opportunity, Miss Carolyn. I thank you for being able to serve behind the scenes. I thank you for that karate kick a few years ago out of the door, man. This is really been a segue into what God truly has for
Yeah.
me. Reigning supreme for his name's sake and bringing forth everything that he has planted inside my mindset for cultural change at such a time as this. So, rock truth and all,
Such a
queen.
time as this. Amen. Amen. And amen. Thank you so much, Selena. Thank you so much for everything that you do. Behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, just on the side of the scenes. Just I thank you. So we wouldn't have got this far if it wasn't for you. So I appreciate you. And we going, as
And
you rock out and sign out
smile
for the
is
night.
always rock
Yeah.
solid. Okay?
Yes.
Solid, solid. So can you do us
Say
the last
right.
honor before you rock out? Can you do us the last honor before you rock out? And can you bring in, we're gonna give him time to put his thing on, Sir Charles, we got the next person who's gonna come up. So, we allowed, we wanted to just give that time because we know that you had, some other engagement, but you found it, time in your schedule to at least still kind of fit this in. And that's so admirable. And I appreciate you for all of that. You say, let's rock on, let's figure this out. How can we make this still work?
Yes.
And here
And
we are.
moment, I actually just got out of homelessness as well. And it's actually a lot more expensive and busy than it is having a home. So I fully understand the time constraints and the you gotta get it done no matter what. So
Yeah.
this is the time where you really see what you're made of. And when you get to
What
the
you
other
made.
side, it's like it's a breeze. Like you didn't even do wet, and the wet. Okay, that'll be done by Thursday.
But listen, so thank you, Selena, once again. But it is my pleasure to bring yet another. And this, it just happens to be this way, right? It's just part of the setup. I didn't know all these people until later in my life. So, but I'm so glad that I'm all connected to all of them. So here we are now. You're going to hear the man behind the voice. One of the voices that you're going to hear that has that radio stereo voice right here. I call him Sir Charles. You guys know him as Charles. So it's on you.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thanks once again for the kind introduction as well as the opportunity to share with your wonderful audience here on the setup. On the setup. So I'll begin my comments there. It's great to see some familiar faces on as well, and so I'm just going to get right to it. So we talk about the setup. Let me start off with, and then I'm going to start off with this, then I want to end off with this. Is that the journey isn't all about you. It's about the lives that you touch, the impact you make on the community as well as your family, and then of course, yeah, the chance to inspire others in things that you do. So, for those that are not aware, I've served in the military for almost 36 years, admiral service. So most of my life has been in uniform, and that's what I knew. Department of Defense stuff. They sent me where they needed to go, where it needed me to go, and so I didn't have to do a whole lot of thinking. But I enjoyed the travel. Got to meet a whole lot of folks. So the experiences that I brought back in the bridging into civilian life was pretty key. So, but this thing about the setup is what is your next as you move forward? What is your next? And that's pretty scary for a guy or a gal or a citizen of the United States that served in the armed forces. After 36 years, what do? That's a bridge. So the first thing that I would offer for those that are looking for entrepreneurship or just finding or gaining that purpose and understanding where God has put you here because you were created for a reason. And I think a lot of us we forget that God created you, and of course he's the grandfather, and if he created you, then he doesn't create any mess, and there's always a purpose behind what you bring to the table. So I start off with understanding what you're writing your vision, and as a good book says, is also make it plain. I mean, you write it down, and I think a good brother before me mentioned that you got to write it down, and guess what, you're not going to always get it right. It's just not. That's probably something that'll take some time. It's not going to take a day. It may take a week. It may take a month. It may take a couple of months, and it may take a year until you actually feel comfortable with what it is. Because from your vision, it will drive you to do what you need to do, and it'll also illuminate the passion that you have. Because we were built with a purpose from God. And with God, He provides that purpose, that passion within us. Because most of you are probably aware and have met folks or people that they may be 50, 60 years old, and they're just as unhappy no matter what kind of money that they have, where their place in life is, because they're walking a path that's not aligned with their purpose. And that is something after I made the bridge from military status over to civilian status. It's like I want to be able to walk effectively in my purpose. I don't want to make money just to be. I mean, money's money, and finding that money or that place in money. And not saying now it's okay to make it, but the thing is, it's fleeting if you don't walk in and your purpose is not aligned. And I've seen that so often. So write your vision, understand what your why is and what you would want to do, as far as either entrepreneurship. And I also do a whole lot of public speaking, as well as other avenues, even a little bit of modeling. Of course, the voiceover actor stuff that goes and bleeds into potentially acting as well. So this is a total 180 from how I've lived over the last 36 years in uniform. Something totally different. So, which is a perfect, segue into my next point, is that when you're going into something new like that, and if you're walking in your purpose and you're uncomfortable, because it's okay to be uncomfortable, that means that the good Lord is stretching you, but it's about gathering your intelligence. So what does that look like? Well, I try to make this short and sweet so that I can expand on it in my own way, and you can expand on that in your own way as well, but using three points. Says, what is it that you know about the endeavor that you're going into? What is it that you know? Okay, write that down, make it plain. Don't make anything up, but be true and honest with yourself about what it is that you're jumping into. Because obviously, if there's passion in your bones, if you find that purpose, then it'll be something that's struck in you that you won't be able to let go. So, what do you know about the endeavors that you're going into? And then next, number two is, what don't you know? What is it that you don't know? So, and again, you have to be honest with yourself, because you're searching for that authenticity in what it is that you're trying to grapple with. Authenticity is important, in particular for those that are out there in the world. You're doing interviews. They most important, they want to see if you're authentic about what you're about. I mean, are you true to your core, etc. And then last point is, tell me, what is it that you think? And again, in those three portions, what you know about your endeavor, what is it that you don't know, and then find out what do you think you're jumping into, and then you collate all of that, and then focus on the authenticity piece. Then, as you're bumping off from writing the vision, you're gathering your intelligence. Then you would want to jump on to the next point. Big point which is you're not the smartest person in the room because you're jumping into something new. You may have dabbled a little bit into this endeavor that you're in. You may have maybe worked in a club or an establishment or an office. You worked in and around the C-suites of Fortune 100 to 500 companies, or you just watched someone create their business, whether it be in the services, and I can go on and on about this. But to actually do it is a totally different story. When you're doing it yourself and you need the resources, you need the budgets and understand what it is. So you aren't the smartest person in the room, so you have to build networks. And in order to jump off your endeavor, it's going to take a little bit of finances. And I know that was mentioned earlier as well. You got to consider all of that, the resourcing, in order to build your plan and build upon your vision. Because without the resourcing, you won't be able to get there. So let me dabble a little more into the networking piece. So it's going to take money in order to make money. Most folks don't. You gotta, if you want to build your house, and in a way where it's going to be effective for you as far as your marketing and branding is concerned, you got to start off with a house that is established, so that all you have to do is just tweak it every once in a while as technology and information, as well as what the market looks like at that particular place in time. Which goes into my next large point, which is, you can't get comfortable once you build that. Then you have to say, okay, I got to build my craft. You got to always stay in the craft. For example, the voice acting stream that I'm a part of. I started off with a business. I looked at a business. I interviewed to be a part of that business. They gave me this, which included some financials as well. I provided the financials, and I'm like, okay, I'm jumping. I don't know what I'm getting into. I know I'm excited about it. There's fire in my bones, and I think I can do something with this thing. So I went through training for about almost a year, but they also provided the means with setting up my own demos and it giving me experiences that I never thought I would accomplish, to include overcoach. That's made me pretty successful at this point because I'm receiving quite a few auditions and I'm having fun doing it. And it also is expanded my purview on certain things as well. And so the last point is, after all of that, the vision, gathering your intelligence, understanding that, you're not the smartest person in the room, and building your network, continue on with building as well as, kind of nipping on your craft. Then you got to think about the branding and marketing. That's important because we're living in this digital age, and it's important that we make sure that we establish that in order to get after that. So I'll stop there. And again, Carolyn and Octavia, appreciate the time. But for those that are interested on some of the services that I provide, as well as any thoughts on on how you move forward, then look at www.the. Check out the site, see what you think, and contact me and hit me up. And if there's some thoughts, if you want to have some further conversations on the bridging strategy that I had for myself, and it just didn't happen yesterday. I've been out of uniform for almost 2.5 years, and I'll tell you, it took about 2 years in order to get comfortable after doing all those steps, meeting some key folks that helped me to expand upon my vision and to provide some thoughts that I never even thought of. So with that, thank you so much. Boy, what an opportunity, and I've had fun. So Carolyn, back over to you.
Wow. Listen.
I love it. And I have copious notes.
If anybody took notes, it was you.
Certainly. One thing I have absolutely learned about the setup is you always have to be ready to receive. And I always think back, I always like paraphrase the mess out of this Bible story, but it was basically when she just needed to find the things to fill with oil. And no matter how many she found, as long as she kept pouring and had something to pour into, she was collecting oil. So I keep plenty empty jars around, because you just never know when the oil is going to pour and be plenty. And it is very abundant tonight.
Very, very abundant. Sir Charles, listen, you came with it again, and you're right. It's such a 360. Like, it's talk about, changing careers. Talk about a career change that has nothing to do with the other on the surface. On the surface. And I think that's where people, when it's time to change careers, they look at the job that they're in and they try to match the job instead of matching their skills, instead of matching the skills that can transfer, instead of matching the things that light up their soul and light their fire up. So I seen some of your pictures. I said, oh, he modeling there. I see you, cousin.
Yeah.
I see you out there doing all those things. So, but that's because
Yeah.
it was already something that you wanted to
Yeah.
do, right? Yeah, that's it.
It was, yeah, it was some thoughts, because the liberal arts is where I started. I started playing the music. I do, of course, I sing. I've singing from jazz bands. I do all of that, but in uniform, it's kind of tough in order to get after those things, because my time was so busy and it was demanded of me. But again, I go back to the first thing that I said, my good cousin Carolyn, is that the journey is not about you, and that's where I stay with the authenticity of who I am. It's not about me. It's about the lives that you touch, whether I'm in a middle school or a high school, or even amongst men who are just searching for understanding what it means to be an authentic male in a society that kind of degrades male. It doesn't matter what color, race, or creed. They just want to hear something from someone. What did you go through? How did you handle it? Your emotional and mental health. How do you keep up your physical health? Because I will tell you, cuz if you don't take care of yourself in all those ways, then you're not able to do and give as God would have you to give, to your family and to the entrepreneurship, which then again is greater than yourself. Because out of that, perspective, out of that environment of entrepreneurship, you're going to touch somebody's life in a positive way, where it may turn them around and set a different azimuth and a different course in their lives. So that's how I'm living. It's brought me peace that I've not known for quite some time, and I'm so happy about it. Yeah.
Wow. Well, you guys, you heard that. I know I saw you writing notes, Doc. I saw you writing notes, Doc. So yeah, peace. That's when you can find and create your own peace. I think that's the best thing ever. That's the best gift to yourself. That's totally filling your cup. That's completely filling your cup. Fill your cup with peace. Peace above all other understanding. Just fill it
That's
with
the
peace.
true source of stability.
Yeah,
that's where you really sit in the I control the things that I can control, which is always yourself and how you feel about
always
yourself, and things that are uncontrollable going on around you.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Charles. I so appreciate you for taking the time to jumping on with us. And you guys go ahead and check to see where he said the services he provided. Go check him out at thecharlesmills.com. So thank you so much, so much, so much. We'll see you later. All right. So now we're gonna take, and he was all the way down in South Carolina, right? So we bouncing all over the place. So now we about to get some California love. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, wait a minute.
funny.
No,
I
keep
was
it
just
going.
listening
Keep
to
it
that
going.
song
Wait a
today.
minute. Wait a minute. Go ahead. Go ahead. I saw you. Oh.
It's so funny. I grew up in Sacramento. Where in Cali are you?
Wow, what's going on, Dave?
What's
Oh,
going
okay.
on, ladies? How y'all doing? How y'all doing tonight?
So you
Doing amazing, doing
never
amazing.
rains in Southern California. Does it really not?
When I get there, I know about that. There's something about that.
Oh, we about to have a concert now.
Don't get me started.
Uh-oh.
Listen, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Listen.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I wanted to get into it. I actually wanted to roll into which your cousin, obviously the last was Charles was talking about. So Sir Charles was talking about, right? he started to hit me with a couple of things, and obviously I want to talk about, obviously 2023 has been a crazy year, right? Um, Becoming a best-selling author, starting a new nonprofit called the Good Brother Foundation at gbfinc.org if you guys want to check it out. Mentoring, I mean, really um, taking a step back from yourself and finding out about yourself. Um, One of the things I want to reach out and talk to you guys about is about dimming your light for anyone. Like, you matter, like your thoughts matter, right? That's a big, huge thing that you need to understand about yourself. Never put yourself in a space where people don't respect you or your thoughts. Um, the other thing I wanted to talk about was self-awareness. Okay, understanding yourself, your strength, your weaknesses, values, beliefs. It's crucial to your personal growth, right? Um, you really, really need to just, take time to yourself. Sometimes you need to step away from everybody else and focus on yourself and the things that you need to do for yourself, right? Obviously, life is going to hit you with, ups and downs, right? A bunch of challenges, but you got to be resilient through it all. Um, I, you know, I mean, 2023 was crazy. The year started out crazy. You always walk into the new year thinking that things are going to go a certain way. Things end up taking a tumble. Things end up hitting you hard, and then all of a sudden you turn around and you stay resilient no matter how many things hit you, and you keep working, and then voila, you right back on top. Voila, your light is shining again. They said that when it storms, eventually the rain runs out. The rain runs out, right? Um, Focus on you. Figure out what your purpose is, right? Have a clear sense of what your purpose is so that you can give yourself some direction in life, right? Support. Support. That's a big thing. Find your tribe. You know, find like-minded people who truly are listening to your thought processes and really trying to help you elevate, right? That's big. We call that, you can call it connections. I call it relationships, relationship capital. Um, uh, and number five, I'm always I always tell myself I'm always ever evolving. So it's continuous learning. I had to unlearn some things that were taught to me that I felt were wrong, and relearn things, whether it was financial, um, whether it was dealing with situations, so forth and so on. And one of the biggest things I understand about my power is that I'm a great listener. I if someone needs me to lend an ear, I'm always there to listen, to hear, and try to help you figure out your path, right? Or maybe giving you a couple of some nuggets, right? Some golden nuggets. I always say I call it clearing the murky waters that you're trying to swim through to try to clear your path for where you want to go within your life. Um, but this is this has been fulfilling for me. I think that I learned a lot because I think a part of me went into hiding based on things that were happening to me, and I couldn't understand what was happening, but I knew I was strong. Um, I knew that you need to strap your boots up, and you got to push through, because there were people who needed me. I mentor young kids. I take care of the families and the babies out here in California. Well, wherever I'm needed. Uh, so um, it's big for me. It's huge for me. I get the most joy out of it. I'm always going to give a shout out to my family, Mama Lane. Love you to death. Shout out to my brothers and sisters, with always support. Shout out to Kiki. Shout out to Mo. There's a plethora. Carolyn, Lamar, you know what it is. Sharif, cats that have just been by my side. Um, that's a strong support group, strong relationships. And big things are happening. Big things are on the way. If you want to know, reach out to me. There is some major things happening here in California that you can be a part of, but going international, that's the goal. I started to really sit back and to figure out, like, every time that God has put me in situations, what am I supposed to be using these situations for? And those are the questions I ask myself every single time. Um, and I've been so blessed to share my blessings, to be the person I need to be for whoever I need to be that person for. So this has been truly an honor to get on here with you, Carolyn. I think this is the second time that we did this. The first time I was in Orlando, traveling to Orlando for some high school friends' birthday shindig, and you already know me with the singing and the shenanigans. I'm always trying to bring joy to everybody's life, and it is about our babies. The babies are the future. We got to take care of these families that can't take care of themselves, the people that don't really have voices for themselves. That was a big, huge thing about why we talked about writing the book, right? The Him story. But shout outs to all the Her Story authors, Him Story authors, Her.Story Too authors. And a lot of great things are happening. And I just want y'all to look forward to a lot more great things. And if you guys want to jump on the train of this energy, because that's what it is. It's when you feel this energy and you feel that the things are right, stop trying to control chaos. Leave the chaos out your life. When you feel that things are right, there's nothing wrong. Just get on the train and let's move forward and let's execute and let's accomplish some things. All right. So this is your guy, David Jordan Lane. You guys can hit me up on the gbfinc.org, Good Brother Foundation. You can see what it is and what I do. Send me an email, reach out to me. Let's get rocking. All right. Because I think if we work together more, we can greater things will happen when we work together more. Everybody knows that. What they say, together, everybody achieves more. So
together, everyone achieves more. Team, I was
Yeah,
just thinking
they
that.
say go fast by yourself, further together. All right, we gonna win the distance.
all right, y'all got we're gonna take us out. We're gonna take us out with a little jam. Huh? Is that what we're gonna do?
Oh, go for it. That's what you're gonna do.
I'm always ready for a little.
You shouldn't have said that.
Look, someone already put in the chat. Look. Maria from St. Martin, she already said just sing. Like she just said, don't even talk, just sing.
Oh, somebody said, ooh, ooh, yeah, ooh, yeah. Nah, I'm messing with y'all. We ain't. It's Carolyn.
The Mario song. You want to sing Mario?
Carolyn, no.
Let's be like, focus on the rainbow. Just focus on the rainbow. Just focus on the rainbow. So listen, thank you, Dave. Thank you. Listen, I'm so honored to have all of you kings, that came on and just gave us all these amazing nuggets and put it all in perspective for us. So I thank you, good brother. That's why it's called the Good Brother Foundation.
Yeah.
Because you're doing good things. You're doing good things. You're doing great things. So listen, thank you for joining us. You got some more sunshine. Look, we got California bringing some sunshine. We had Florida bringing some sunshine. I can't. Thanks.
Y'all take it easy.
I know. I just eat. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'll see you later. Much love, much love, much love. Listen, California love. Oh, I'm sorry. California knows how to party. California. Okay, I'm sorry. Little sidebar thing. So listen, this is because we could go all night, but and we're gonna go for a little bit longer. So if you want to go a little bit longer, we'll just say a little bit longer. But this is what we're gonna do. So we heard from some amazing speakers that joined us earlier tonight. from coast to coast. We heard from some of our him story. Well, no, we heard from a lot of our him stories, right? We heard from a couple of her stories, but I have this next 4 women that I'm going to pop up in the screen. So we're just going to kind of just have this round robin conversation, with all of them to give this time and this sisterhood and this and everything. And let's just bring them on one by one. So I mean, and I see the chat is filled with some amazing women. So I'm just going to kind of just give them the floor.
Frozen. Oh, it's right. She's pushing the buttons now. Yeah, you're pushing the
I
buttons
know.
now.
Now
It's
I'm pushing the button.
fine.
I see Andrea is with us. And we got Miss Erica Joe. Whoop, 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 whoop,
Welcome,
whoop. And
welcome.
we going to bring in Miss Tanisha.
Hey.
Hey, y'all got the same house. What y'all doing? Y'all the
I
same
know,
house?
right? So I saw her home and I thought it was so beautiful. She shared her designer
I
with me.
know, I know, I
Love
know,
it.
I know, I know. So I mean, and like you said, Grace was here. Hopefully, she'll jump back in with us. So listen, these are some of the ladies from her story. So let's go. Let's start with Andrea. So the way we were going to have it, we were going to have Andrea was going to come and do her thing, and Tanisha and Erica was really going to close us out together. But why not just all us just close us out together? So Andrea, we're going to turn it over to you for right now.
Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. It's indeed just a pleasure to be here this evening. You see me, I'm wearing my purple. I'm celebrating you. One of the things that was really on my mind this month that I wanted to speak a little bit about is just purple. I don't know if Caroline was intentional with it, but this month is actually Narcissism Awareness Month. And the color to represent that, it's actually purple. So whatever it is, Carla, you are in alignment. And I was just thinking about the theme, the setup. The setup really and truly speaks of the liberation. Because anytime someone is setting up something, it means that there is purpose and there's a reason behind it. You set up something in order to charter a course. And as we go into 2024, I just expect each and every one of you here, as even being present here, it shows that you plan to really and truly be deliberate. And in setting up, one of the end results that you have is elevation. So I'm just happy to be here. Again, my name is Andrea Adams, and I'm also part of her story, the story of healing, empowerment, and resilience. And it's amazing and honorable to just be here with my sisters.
Oh, love to
Awesome.
have you here too.
Beautiful.
Beautiful message. I
Erica,
loved it. Loved it.
I know, right? Right, Erica, come on, bring it home, girl. Bring it home, bring it home, bring it home.
Listen, Carolyn, you already know how I feel. When I saw that the title of this was the setup, listen, I'll take off running. Okay, you already know.
Wait a minute, Erica will be like this on the screen. Then she'll be going. She'll be going. She'll be going.
I gotta take off running. When I saw the setup, like my story. I'm just a Jersey girl living in VA by way of Washington State. You already know this. You already know that I was 22 years in a marriage with wounds and scars that no one else could see or hear but me. Right? We already know this. We know that I came here to Virginia. I had enough courage to get on my feet, get a new place, get a new job. I got a new I got a new apartment. I got everything together. And I started a new career and I was feeling the best I had felt in like 22 years. And then all of a sudden, I got jump kicked in the chest with stage 4 adenocarcinoma. It was a setup. Okay. So what I had been doing prior to that, because anybody who knows me knows that my story started way before I got diagnosed. And so let me tell you, it was a setup. So all the things that I had been believing, I had been seeking God about something greater, about the power that was within me, right? I kept saying, God, if the kingdom of God is within me, then the kingdom of God is a strong and mighty place. Why am I not acting like I am like my father? So I began to create on purpose. But when I came down here, I finally got that in my head. I got enough courage to leave. I came down here, I got things together, got hit with cancer.
And then I had 12 rounds of chemo to do, lasting 3 days each. Each night, I was saying, there's got to be a purpose to this. There's got to be something greater to this. It was a setup. In that time and in those moments, I was putting together what I thought was a theory. It was a theory at the time on how to get up and how to cross the bridge. Cameron, I know you heard me talk about it before, about crossing the bridge, about running to the place of war. I started to create a round table of people that I needed to hear from. And you know how I felt about David Goggins, my goodness, as part of my round table and a part of my group of people that would get me up. And what I learned was that there's a blueprint to getting up. There's a blueprint. So the first time I had cancer, that's right. Yeah, the first time I had cancer, it was me versus the cancer. But the second time I got diagnosed, it was me versus me. And I had to prove to myself and to my children, because they have seen me down, I had to show them how I got up. And I'm telling you, the name of this is called the setup. It was nothing but a setup. Because I got up, there have been a multitude of opportunities that have happened to me that I have been dreaming about, talking to God about, talking to myself about, talking to other people about, pulling it into fruition, pulling into this realm. And lo and behold, let me tell you, that cancer that I went through both times, I'm telling you, it was nothing but a setup for what I'm going through right now. Victory right now.
Y'all couldn't see me, but I was back here, okay? Because the testimony. I
Yeah,
felt
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Look,
No, you needed some
the
sisterly love
serious.
with that one. That's why I had to bring us all back on that one. Like,
Yes. When
Nothing
you
but
get
a
back
setup.
up, it's like,
Nothing
yes.
but a setup. It was a setup. It was a setup.
it
Okay.
was.
I am moving into great things right now. And I want to say, Karen, thank you for doing what you were doing in the time that you were doing it. Because as soon as I came up from cancer the first time and I had a blueprint, there you were. There you were. And it was a stepping stone. I was flipping stones and is this going to work? Is that going to work? And I did something I didn't think I was going to do. And that was right. And when God says, write down the vision and made it plain in 1,000 words, I wrote down a vision and I made it plain. In 1,000 words, I finally overcame the fear to talk about what was happening to me because they were scars that no one else could see and no one else could feel. I was hiding behind the church title. I was hiding behind that, pretending to be this God-fearing family standing tall with the perfect marriage and the perfect children. And it was a lie. And it was a lie. And I didn't have the courage to leave. For 22 years, I didn't have the courage to leave. And when I got here out of faith, God just kept putting stones down under my feet. Each time I took a step out, He would put a stone under my foot. Every time I took a step, every time I turned around, let me tell you something, it was a setup. Every time I turned around. So when cancer hit me for the second time, yes, it was stage 4 again. This time I knew what to do. This time I had a blueprint. The first time it was a theory. The second time it was a blueprint. It was a time that I could say to my children, as my daughter watched me go from 175 pounds down to 134 pounds and work my way back up to 174 pounds. And we talked all the time that workout is where I go to. You know what I mean? Battering my body because it's the thing that I could control. And I'm telling you, this thing was a setup, and you know it. I have a documentary coming out about my life. It just got finished. Why? Because of what you did. It was a setup. I got a job at the University of Richmond because it was a setup. Because at the University of Richmond, those who don't know, I have a special needs child who is a musical savant. I have been asking God to open the door, but because of this documentary, it opened up doors for him to come through as well. This whole thing is a setup.
It's a setup.
Me being here is a setup. Me meeting you is a setup. It's all a setup. So you knew what you always be on time. And I tell you, like I always tell you, you ain't nothing but an action word. You ain't nothing but an action word. You ain't nothing but an action word. We pulled a Carolyn Wilson here in 20, about to go into 2024. You know what I mean? I just want to say thank you and for the opportunity to be a part of this and part of these great and awesome women who had the courage to step out and do their thing because I found my tribe.
Bam.
Roger
Snap,
that.
snap, clap, clap, hugs, love.
Right.
All listen. I am her. You are her. We are all her. Like we are her. We are her. And
Roger
and,
that.
and man, Roger that. There we go. Roger that. Roger that. We're gonna do a Carolyn
Erica,
Wilson.
AKA Roger
Before
that.
we do a Carolyn Wilson, we're about to do we're gonna listen, my cousin friend. That's why I said that just it just I just happen to, my family just happens to be like amazing. Like Tanisha.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Look at you looking fabulous for us this evening.
Thank you. Thank you, cousin friend. Thank you. How's everybody doing?
Fantastic.
We're here,
I'm good.
man. We're here.
hurt from smiling so much. Y'all got me smiling
I
so
know.
much.
I know.
Oh,
I'm like this. I've been awesomed all over the place.
it is. That's
Everything
phenomenal.
is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
Gosh.
So what you got for us, cousin friend? She's cousin friend of me, but she's Tanisha Langley to all of you. So go for
The
it. What you got
one
for
and
us?
only cousin friend and her story, him story. The whole conference team. How is everybody doing? First of all, I would like to say to the speaker before me, I was just gotta be still, but I was just in awe of your narrative and your story. So you talk about the setup. I want to start with a quote: build for where you are going and not where you are. And that is from the one and only Tyler Perry. You talk about a way to segue into the setup, how to elevate. I'm just going to be dropping about 4 quick tips on my setup and building for where I wanted to go and not where I was. Me and Carolyn had a conversation. I said, because my name is Tanisha Langley. I am the founder of Enrichment Strategy Services LLC, which is an education consulting business. And all I did was took my skill set as an educator and transferred them right into a business where I serve corporate, school settings, consumers, and anyone that needs any academic coaching and personal development coaching. So me and Carolyn had a conversation. I said, when I get ready to go to vendor events, I don't have a tangible product that people can put in their hands. I don't have something that can, if people are walking by, other than just myself, my brand, that I have something to have a conversation with. So she was putting together this fabulous anthology, the first project, Her Story. I mean, the original project of Her Story. And she's at first I was not on board with doing it. Then I was like, you know what? I did tell her that's something that I wanted to do. So I ended up my reluctancy ended up turning into a yes. So I wrote a chapter and talk about the setup. I went through a very rough period from June of 2015 to June of 2018. And I talk about how I use that as a setup to get me to my next level of being an entrepreneur of Enrichment Strategy Services LLC. And with that, of course, I do consulting for corporates and schools and small business owners, but I more so want to give some tips because a lot of situations have came about due to the pandemic in the school systems. So I want to just provide some quick tips to kind of merge some family engagement, talk about the setup, talk about how that chapter in my book, when I go to vendor events now, I put it on the table and something about it resonates with people as they're coming by. Might not be interested in the education consultancy, but they're very interested in knowing about this anthology. Talk about a setup. up. Let's talk about how it segued into me creating a business of something that I love to do, which I call myself the better. I put two brands together of myself, which is Better Not Bitter Education Enthusiast. And with that, I want to provide some quick 4 tips for families as they're trying to navigate through the aftermath of the pandemic. And this is around academic coaching and personal development, because I have a special going on for the end of the year and I'm trying to close me X amount of deals before the end of the school year. So let's talk about goal setting and planning. That's one of the things, of course, I've got the expertise to do it, but that's some of the things. If you're at home with your children and you don't know where to start, you can start with step 1 or tip 1, which is goal setting and planning. Taking a look at what they're doing, taking a look at what's happening. I will go ahead and tell you, sometimes you may have to, the thing that's their attention getter and babysitter for you, you may need to take it and put it away and have some conversations, verbal conversations with your children, and help them set at least one goal and help them put together a plan for where they are right now to the end of the school year. The second tip I have is around skills development. So if your child is displaying, or child as in someone that you have in your home, or someone that you have adopted, let's talk about what you can do around skills development. If they have a particular interest or like in something, playing games, making clothes, drawing, anything of that nature, sometimes you can pull a kid in that may be showing apathy and being unmotivated by what they have an interest in. So help them, if you're at home, with helping them to develop those skills of something that's of interest to them. Find them books or resources, find them videos around it, find someone who's doing what they like, and set up a conversation with your child to help them to develop skills. Tip number 3 is around motivation and mindset. As again, this kind of comes off of the previous tip that I just said about apathy. Apathy means that they seem unmotivated. One of the things that you can try to do, I use affirmations in my coaching when I'm talking about K-12 students. Affirmations are stating something that's a positive short statement. I am smart. I am brave. I am courageous. And help them find affirmations for motivation and positive mindset, to counteract something that they are dealing with. If you know that they're experiencing a hard time at school with their relationships, their social and emotional learning with their peers, then try to find them something to build up their motivation and mindset. I am brave. I am smart. I can love. I am love. And the 4th tip, if you're at home, is providing personalized support. I know I'm coming in and out, guys. I'm sorry. Personalized support and accountability. So you may not be able to do so much for personalized support, even though they are your children, you raised them or you've been with them. But one of the things that you can do is to hold them accountable. Explain to them what accountability is. Please don't, little Johnny, talk about the teacher. This is a famous one. Oh, the teacher didn't put the grades in. Okay, they didn't put the grades in, but the grades they did put in, this is what you're doing. So teaching them to be held accountable for what they are and aren't doing. Teaching them more about what accountability is. And this one is going to be an oucher. Parents, guardians, caregivers, please model what accountability looks like. So if you know that you're not being, doing good with holding yourself accountable, you might want to go off to the side with that. But teaching students and your children how to be accountable for their personal and academic growth is going to be pivotal going into this new school year. Yes, we're still having aftermaths of the pandemic, but honestly, it's time for us to start singing a new tune. But those are 4 tips, tools, and resources that you can utilize. If you need additional help and support, I've provided my Calendly in the chat section. They will be presenting it on the screen, and I have a 30 minutes now, out of my consulting and coaching day to do a discovery call with you and to see if we're going to do a deeper dive and if we're going to work together. So I'm trying to close about maybe 3 or 4 more deals. So if you're interested in taking a deeper dive with your children, I'm having an end of the year special for academic and personal development coaching. If you're interested, click the Calendly and let's schedule a discovery link.
I love it. She said you gotta walk the walk. You can't just talk the talk, because 98% of communication is nonverbal. Your kids are watching you all the time. Even when their faces in the phone, they're still watching you.
And
Trust
listening.
me.
And
All of it.
listening.
Oh,
And
that's the key
listening.
word. Listening. They're listening.
And they're listening. So accountability is in my ed consulting endeavors as I go out to schools or work with small businesses. That's kind of the thing that is lean right now, and I use that term very loosely. And I think social media honestly can be helpful, but then if it is not monitored and evaluated, from an adult's perspective, then children don't really know what accountability looks like. They don't know. Children go up and make excuses for why they have or haven't done something. So we got to get back to some basics, in my opinion, some good old fashioned traditional things, the way that we grew up, and implement those in our homes and stop blaming society, stop blaming social media. It may be influencing them, but at the end of the day, we also have to hold ourselves as families accountable for what's happening with our children today.
This is true.
Mic drop.
So true.
Like seriously, because they will beat the it was a shutdown, a lockdown. They didn't went virtual. Technology been around for most of my lifetime. Last time I checked, so it's not like it's a new invention. We've been using technology. It was just for fun. So now we kind of use it for everything.
Right.
And that's really the only change. So,
That's
it's
the
just
only thing.
training wheels off. Let's go. Okay.
Right. It needs to be a balance, and not a babysitter. And that is where, sometimes some families are holding the school responsible, holding the community responsible. But at the end of the day, and I know people are not going to be very pleased what I'm going to say, but at the end of the day, those are your children. Those are your children that you're responsible for long after they come out of that class or that school, and you have to step up. And if you're having a hard time because you don't have the skill set, then it's up to you to call the school, and you guys become allies and have partnerships together. And not just shoving it off. Well, they're with you, so you take care of it. You're there, you're teaching them. I'm going to say this. It is a YouTube video that's out, and at first I thought it was a spoof, but it's a teacher that's calling a parent to talk about the child's behavior, and so the parent is like, "Well, aren't they there with you? I'm at work." Yeah, so I could probably do a whole workshop on family engagement and school to home pipeline. But if anybody wants any more information or to get a discovery call, you got my Calendly. Doing a really good virtual academic and personal development group coaching program that I'm going to have until I think March or April, I think. So we can talk more about it then. But thank you so much, Carolyn, for the opportunities. Started with the Celebrating You Women's Conference, Sister's Choice. That was my first yes. And reluctantly getting into the book. And again, that has been the setup, because actually just having that book on my vendor table, I might not be that interesting, but when they see that book, they want to talk. And in the book is where it was the catalyst for me to start my education consulting business, because that's when I left my cozy, comfortable, successful teaching career to start my business for what happens to me in the book.
Mhm.
Wow, see, it's all the setup. It's all the setup. And I'm loving how, like, I'm loving the sparkles. See, look, we all kind of got the colors going. Like, I'm loving that. I need to come and borrow that from you, Andrea. So I like that. The sparkles. I like it. So listen,
Thank you.
ladies, you're welcome. So let's as we close out. So any final words? Andrea, I'm gonna just give the floor to you. So you can close us out with some final words and inspiration and all that good stuff and just heart us out.
Hey, definitely. So I know the Sears team, the setup basically saying it's time to elevate. I believe, as I said before, that it's definitely, when it comes to the setup, it's deliberate preparation and thoughtful consideration, intentional planning. Basically, when we embark on setting up something, it's like a manifestation of foresight, of the belief of whatever steps is it that we got to take today to get tomorrow's outcome. So I just want everyone that's listening to remember that basically when we are setting up, we're crafting a blueprint for what is it that we aspire for our life. If it is we were part of a setup, it means that we were part of something that would have been put in place for us to follow that chart to get a result. So being part of a setup or setting up something is really a strategic investment in our goals, a commitment to the art of purposeful action. I can be reached. My name is Andrea Adams, as Carla would have introduced me earlier. I am a mindset, communication, and relationship coach. I have a wonderful group. Right now, I'm currently studying psychology, and my passion in doing that is really and truly to be able to help women and children, especially those who would have gone through some form of abuse, because we all know that everything starts with our mind, being able to create those thoughts that we need to be able to shape our future starts with having a sound mindset and basically creating a setup, setting up your life the way you want it to. Because the end result of setup with proper preparation will always come elevation. So I currently have a group that I'll encourage anyone who may be in a domestic situation facing any form of abuse, narcissism, especially. I have a Facebook group called Thriving Through Narcissism. You can reach out to me there, or you can reach me at my link tree /Adornami. That's ADORNAMI. And for those of you who do have children and you find that they find it difficult to speak up, because that's one of the other things that I'm passionate about, helping children to be able to find their voice. A lot of times it starts from young, that shaping them the correct way so they can understand that they too have a voice. They too need to be heard. So I have a platform. It's called Global Kids Speak. You can find it also at the link tree, link Adornami, ADORNAMI. I have a beautiful course for kids where they can learn the art of speaking up. So my passion is just serving the underserved, and you can reach me there at Adornami via the link tree.
Awesome. There we go. There we go. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Whoo, her story, him story, her story too. Celebrating who? Celebrating all of you. Look, I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. So thank you, Andrea. Thank you. I know, right? Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Tanisha. Listen, this has been one ride, and guess what? It's not even over yet. It's far from over, far from over. So listen, Doc, can you
I
believe?
feel like Steve from Blue's Clues because my handy dandy notebook. Okay, been along for this ride.
You said Blues Clues, my handy dandy notebook. Oh,
Yes.
man, listen. This has been, if you guys who are still here with this, if this has been amazing, I want you just to type the setup. Just type the setup. Just type the setup. Just type the setup. Like, you guys don't understand it. Even you being here, even you listening to this, even for you to just capture a glimpse of it, a moment of it, or the whole time of it, it's part of the setup. It's part of the setup. You just don't know what you're being set up for, but it's clearly part of the setup. I would have never known to be connected to all of these amazing, beautiful women. You know, we had some of you, either your other sisters and brothers who were joining us, you know. Oh, you know what? And I just realized too, you know, and we got a closing word from our queen. Let me see. If you want another closing word, a close out from one of our kings, LA. If you want to close out, you got a message for us to close out. All right, wait a minute. Let me get you in here because I just realized you were still here. You want to close us out, LA? Let's get a message from our king.
Wow, man. You know, what can I say? I mean, that's just what a phenomenal evening. You know, really people breaking down everything from, you know, making sure they have date night, you know, with the spouse. I mean, we have folks singing, you know what I'm saying? We had cousins in the military having conversations. I mean, it's been chocked full of information that you can just take. And I would say, you know, go over your notes. I know Carolyn didn't take that right, but you know what I'm saying? For the folks that took some notes, right? You know, go over those. Don't allow the last time you read those notes to be when you wrote the notes. You understand what I'm saying? Make sure that you go back and review this stuff. I just believe if you truly want to magnify your essence, there's a bunch of people, there's a bunch of human beings here on this StreamYard, right? That want you to take life to wherever it is that you want to go. And so, man, I'm telling you, I just, you know, listen, the reason why we, you know, kind of got rocking and rolling with the Success Banquet was because, you know, most of the time in our community, we treat food as if it's like fellowship itself, right? And we wanted to make food for thought the new fellowship, right? We wanted to put ourselves in position where, you know, success can be that shared experience that you know, we allow just food to be, right? So we're gonna have a good time, man. I'm telling you, this is only the beginning. Because Carol, as far as I know, you got some more stuff popping off this weekend. I'm gonna tell the truth.
Yes,
man. I'm telling you, I hope y'all ready. I just hope that you all are ready for what is about to happen this weekend and how it's going to carry over into your 2024. Man, I'm telling you, take the life by storm. Let's do the doggone thing.
Yes, thank you
The
so much.
setup.
The setup. It's the setup. It's the setup. It's the setup. It's the setup. So listen, you guys, as we heard, look, this is setup. You're here in the Philadelphia area or somewhere nearabouts. Listen, it'll only take you about 4 hours to get here. If you're anywhere else, you can do it in a day. 4 hours either way. You can still get here. I'm trying to tell you. Tomorrow, if you were blessed tonight for the setup, for the kickoff. Woo! Wait till we do this tomorrow in person. OM to the G. So listen, I want to thank everyone who took the time to just join us this evening. Take the time for LA. Thank you for hanging out. That's why I said, oh my God, he's still here. Let me bring you back in and get some final words from you. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Absolutely.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So Doc Ock, thank you once again. You will be, you know, joining us again virtually tomorrow. So listen, you guys go to CYWC, and I think I had it on here somewhere. If not, I'll put it up there. But CYWC EXPO 2023.eventbrite.com. And listen, all these little freebies and giveaways, if people you missed it, look, you'll be able to get it. Look, you'll be able to watch this again because, you know, this will be up for a little bit, but then, you know, limited time, you know, then eventually I'm gonna take it down. So you better get your notes while you can, right? But if it's something you want for a lifetime because you got something that's like, well, I need this. It was a little bit of everything. It was like a rainbow going on, right? So way past people's bedtime, I'm seeing mine too. But listen, we got to rock and roll for tomorrow to get ready for another fabulous day from 10 to 6 p.m. all the way in Philadelphia, PA. We will be at the Courtyard Marriott off of City Line Avenue. Listen, if you thought tonight was fire, wait till tomorrow. It's all about the setup. It's all about the what? It's all about the setup. It's all about the who? It's all about the setup.
The setup.
The setup. The setup. The setup. We're gonna The setup. The setup. All right, y'all. Listen. I don't know about you, but I'm beyond excited. Thank you, Doc. Listen, you guys, it's all about the setup. What are you ready to set up? 2024 is knocking right here at your door. Let's go. Fourth quarter. Time to go, baby. Time to go. See ya. Celebrating you. See ya. Ah.